All right, we are back. Break number 2, case number 1. And you guys know the deal. Not going to wait as long before we start, though, on this one. Okay, long enough. All right, like I said, back. Break 2, case 1 in the reverse. Game of Thrones complete. And like I just said, I feel like in reverse, break 1, case number 2, I think that was our best overall case that we had so far. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. You know, I'm still getting... Please check video resolution. The current resolution. I lowered the resolution, which is not optimal. What is the resolution they want? I mean, I made it worse. I thought that it was too high of a resolution. I don't know if it even really looks tremendously different on somebody's computer screen, but I'm going back to my normal higher resolution now. There's our first autograph. And of course, it doesn't tell me what it is. I guess I have to do a little research on that one. I mean, I get that same comment all the time from the YouTube stream, but I've never had any issues. This feels like one of those progressions in here. Yep, Daenerys progression. Well, I'm going to reset it to go pairs, go back up to the higher resolution. So how are things on your side of the pond there, Dominic? One of the character cards. map. Parallel. I forget, are you a Prem fan? I haven't been able to watch as much as I usually do, but it's a little topsy-turvy in the league this year. Okay, we start Mr. Arrow. And Paolo Dianasati and Rupert Vansittart. Chelsea fan? I guess I have to start watching Austrian football, because our local Philadelphia Union, they just transferred their young star to Salzburg Red Bulls, I think they're called. Autograph number 1. Yeah, I don't know what level Austrian football is, you know, compared to some of the other European teams. I guess we'll still get to watch them. There's Brandon Aronson. I'm not sure. That's okay. The thing I want to see though is I don't know how he's progressed, but then Aronson's younger brother, who used to play with friends of my son, said that back then when they were, you know, younger, that the little brother was better than him, and he's, I think, 17 now. He's just a couple months younger than my son. Character parallel. From what little bit I get to see, all the big teams are not, you know, City and Liverpool, not nearly as strong as they looked last year. Yeah, just again because of our location, obviously the Union is our closest MLS team. But a friend of mine, his middle son, I don't know if his youngest son did, but his middle son got into their academy, and he's 14 or 13 now. Oh, they did? I'm assuming you're talking about Mo. What happened to him? Oh, Virgil van Dijk. See, that first thing that comes to my mind is a top goal scorer. And was it an actual break? I mean, a break is better than losing, tearing a ACL or something like that, or a fracture. There's our relic already. All right, Valerian, Susan Brown. Oh, that's the worst. Tana Sumter again, non-smudged like the one from the last case. And Tyrion for our relic. Yeah, there's going to be a couple that going to be no short supply of. If you go back and look at the other breaks, though, you'll see that Alistair Simpson has got to be has got to be the most common signature that we've gotten. Not a huge signer. Got our first inscription here, but I really like the inscription. Yeah, I think so. I would think that with 10 cases in total, we'll be able to see a breakdown of really how things shake out. that was my thing with the relics. I'm wondering if any relics are more common than others. When we were opening up all the Season 8s, it seemed like the Sansa relic was more rare than any of the others. I don't know, you know, once you figure in all the other breaks that happened. You know, I forget to check. Are the relics in the archive box? No, the archive box excludes a lot. Yeah, I'm curious now. Let's go back one. Yeah, you don't get the. You don't even get the progressions. Are these numbered? I never even looked. They're not numbered. I wonder why they would eliminate the progressions. I mean, they're. Back to the checklist. And back here. And speaking of progressions, here's the other one. It's Sam. Pairs. You know, I don't follow the autographs, so have some of the real rare ones popped up? Like any of those 1 of 1s or 1 of 5s? I haven't dissected the checklist enough to know. Like a lot of like the Littlefinger ones are all rare. You know, are any of them? No, I tell you what, a lot. They're all good inscriptions. It's not like the one where it's, you know, just it says Game of Thrones and it just happens to be numbered out of 5. Oh, that's cool. He did a little sketch. He pulled a Sean Bean. Parallel. I think he's the one that gets me the most. Is with Littlefinger is his autographs. I would they should go for more. I mean, it was a good he was a good character, played well. He didn't sign a ton. I mean, I guess he signed more than, you know, some other characters, you know, of his level. he signed for every set? Valerian of Dan Hildebrand. Go quick on that one. He was in, what was that movie? Was he in Maze Runner? A movie my son watched. Anton Lesser. There Will Be Pain. And Mormont for the case topper. Autograph right off the bat. But I do feel like the characters in this, except for maybe Momoa, would probably be the only exception I could think of, where even a lot of their work that they've done outside of Game of Thrones hasn't really seemed to have a lot of impact on what their value is. Or it's just anything else they've done, again, excluding Momoa, hasn't been big enough. I still always like going back to Jessica Henwick. You know, not anything crazy on her prices. You know, she's decent. She was an okay character in here, nothing super huge. When somebody posted she was, I guess they're making another Matrix and she's going to be in that. You know, Natalie Emmanuel. I mean, she was in the Fast and Furious movies, and she wasn't, you know, she was one of the, I don't know, what do you call them, the main supporting cast? I know I've seen, what, Ian Glenn? I've seen him and stuff. Wasn't he one of the bad guys in Resident Evil movies? The last one or two? Of course, as long as, you know, you'd think getting into a superhero movie, you know, is a shot to stardom, as long as the movie's not a flop or show. I mean, Ramsey, he was in that Inhuman show, and that show was terrible. This one I always get mixed up though is Henwick. She's the one. She actually has an Academy Award though, doesn't she? I know it's one of the three, but I was getting her mixed up, possibly. But one of them has an Oscar. And, all right, let's start with the duel. Rebecca Benson and Samantha Spiro. Is it Keisha Castle Hughes? And blue, Sybil Kikili. Autograph right off the bat. Half the movies that win Academy Awards, most people don't see. Unless you're into, you know, artsy movies. At least that's what it used to be. And believe me, I didn't know that myself. You know, I had read it. Somebody had. There's actually, it's an interesting thread over on NSU about, I forget if it's underappreciated cards, exactly what the title is. Pairs. Non-sport update. The ones that put on the Philly show, they have a magazine that a few years ago was bought out by Beckett, but then they also had their own forum. Much, much smaller than Blowout. But also because they were a magazine, you're not allowed to actually sell on there. You can trade. So most of it's just talk. And the people on there, they're, especially when it comes to things like promos, holy cow, they know their stuff. But I'm not a promo collector, so. Map. I don't post on there much because I don't have anything to add for most of the discussions. Of course, I do the same thing on Blowout. I read everything, and I want to post so much, and I'm like, you know what, it's not even worth it. I don't want to get into any discussions. I keep my opinions to myself. Autograph number 2. Okay, we'll start with our duel. Rory McCann, Eugene Simon. Since we were mentioning Eugene Simon, there he is. So that's a half and half duel. And full bleed, Pilu Asback. That is a scarce. That is our first one. There. Now with the other autographs, there's not 1, 2, 3. There's only 5 scarces, so we have not. So we still need to pull the Natalie Emmanuel and the Maisie Williams. We pulled 2 Jamies, 1 Podrick, 1 Euron now. And I'm just gonna have to guess everyone after that. Actually, I don't know. I don't think we pulled a Cedric Henderson goal in the ELs. I don't think we pulled a Tim Plester in a gold. I thought we pulled a Tim, unless he's got more than one. But I didn't remember it being gold. And I'm not talking about the duels, but yeah. And then the Will Tudor, the Alistair Simpson, does not have a rarity listed to it. So out of the others, so the Natalie Emmanuel and the Maisie Williams look like the only 2 that we have not pulled anybody of. I think we pulled everything else. Might be 1 or 2 missing, but I'm not sure. Now on the duels and the inscriptions, I'm not sure. I guess they just go right to the scarces. We pulled 1, yeah, the Aidan Gillen and Rupert Vansittart. And Aidan Gillen and Kate Dickey we haven't pulled. Let's see, Anton and Nikolai we haven't pulled. Yeah, there's still a bunch of the duels we have not pulled. I didn't check the inscriptions. Like I know the Aidan inscriptions, we have not pulled any of those. We just pulled a duel. We have pulled this one before, but this duel is, I think, is an EL. I don't think it was the, but it is a, you know, again, it's a decent duel, and it makes sense, and it is on the rarer side. But the best was the old archive boxes that Rittenhouse used to put out actually had everything in them. That's when you really, even the old, matter of fact, I always wanted to buy, and I haven't looked to see if there's even any available anymore, because they've got to be really expensive. But when they had put out DC Legacy, which was in 07, I believe, when you picked up that archive box, you got, I believe, one sketch from every artist that was on the list in the box. I know Justice League you definitely did, because the artist list in Justice League was only like 35 artists compared to some of these other ones. But they used to include, when they did the, you know, 3, 6, 9, whatever case incentives, they were always in there. Now sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. drive the prices of the cards so low, or the prices of the cases? Because I know there are a few people that complain about the big buyers, they're only buying it for the archive box. So they'll actually just, oh, well, actually, I think we're kind of saying the same thing. Same thing like when Season 8 came out. No, Clark. There was people selling, lots of 10, 15 different inscriptions of the same character. Now, when I'm all done with this and I get my lists up, I'll copy the full checklist over into a spreadsheet, and I'll cross-reference it and take out all the ones we've pulled just to kind of see where we're at. When it comes to inscriptions, obviously you're not expecting to pull one of every inscription. And it would just take too long to do it during the break. But again, going with Season 8, look at the You Know Nothing Jon Snow. That was not a rare inscription, but that went for way more than some of the others, just because of how popular of a quote that was. All right, Valerian, Lino Fascioli. And Mark Stanley, John Bradley duel. Well, the one thing, there's a big difference there, Dominic, is that I would have to guess, my thought, is that with Rick and Morty, Cryptozoic probably said, all right, here, I can't remember who it was, the one that really went to town with the inscriptions, the one actress, and said, do what you want, have fun with it. But then Rittenhouse, I think, basically said, we want you to do 10 that say this, 10 that say this, 10 that say this. And maybe, like with Bella Ramsey, either she just started doing them on her own, or they lost track of them because there was a bunch more that weren't on the checklist that she did. Map. Autograph. Now you did a lot of Rick and Morty. Help me out, Dominic. Who am I thinking of? The one voice actress. She was drawing the penises on them and all that kind of stuff. And boobs. It was just hilarious how over the top they were. Though it was funny with when season 8, somebody was selling, and I actually I put a bid in on it as a joke because I would have sent them out, but somebody had like 20 Eugene Simon inscriptions. There you go. I would have sent them to Liz, one a week. Sometimes these rappers just do not want to cooperate. Rittenhouse, if you're watching any of these videos, change your wrappers. The 2 points, just make them like the little shield that you have with the tube. That's all you have to turn in. Or just, you know, I don't have to do the whole wrapper. Make it easy on me. Probably make it easy on their trash people too. I mean, I can't believe that these foil wrappers are recyclable. Here's autograph number 2. Did you have a lot of wrappers? The one thing I do regret. Oh, okay. I would just think it'd be easier on everyone involved if it was just, you know, you pull off that half of the wrapper instead of the whole thing. All right, so here's our new Eugene Simon, Alistair Simpson. And that's a full bleed. And to really move this case up the list, here's a duel. Check that one out. That's our second one, and that is a scarce. I know it happens from time to time, but I just want to, this is the first one so far in this. And you see, I still didn't take the plastic off. Didn't have the sticker on it. It'd be nice if that meant something. No sticker means it's got the sketch or a Clark in it. You know, it's funny. I don't know if it's a little bit harder for you, Dominic, but to collect sports cards, you know, especially American, you know, like baseball or football or whatever. But do you collect any sports, Slim? I'm gonna see if you do. I'm gonna see if I can dig this out. I found, I was cleaning out some stuff that some old boxes I had. Oh yeah, right now it is. So I didn't start collecting non-sports stuff until 95. And then it was just kind of a little here and there stuff. I didn't really go all in. And I still collected mostly baseball, a little bit of everything. And I want to say that it was out of Tough Stuff magazine. Somebody had an ad where if you sent them it was like $3. It was something, some nominal fee. They would mail you back this list of how to figure out where the hits were in different products. You know, it's basically it's the initial cheaters system before people were out there at the, you know, Walmart with scales and micrometers and bending packs. So I was, you know, cleaning up some old boxes, and I actually found the papers, and that just reminded me with that, you know, no sticker, where it was like if you certain things, if it had a dot on it, that meant it was something, or it was, you know, some of them always packed them the same. So usually the, you know, third row, fifth pack down was where the hit was. Which we know they still do that today, because when we opened up, especially I remember Ghostbusters in particular, the packs with the autograph and the sketch, I could pull them out ahead of time and save them for the last packs to open in each box. But I kept it for posterity's sake. I thought it was funny, because I don't remember ever actually being able to use the sheet. You know, I can't go into the baseball card store and say, "Excuse me, can I see that box of Finest, and let me get my paper out so I know which pack to buy." But, yeah, I feel like two cards stuck together. Yeah, that does people going a little crazy. Though I do remember back in '96, Topps, I think it was '96, Topps had the Mickey Mantle Finest reprints, and they were mysteries. So they had that big black vinyl piece over top of them, so you didn't know. You knew what year it was, but you didn't know if it was a regular or a refractor till you peeled it. I mean, I remember going to Walmart, and you know, I'd get. I mean, I really, this I didn't really consider to be anything like you said, like weighing packs or something, because all you did is if you just turned the pack sideways, there was a big black stripe down the middle of the pack, so you knew which one had the mantle in it. Okay, gold, Stas Nair. That's our first gold. Dual, Christian Narn, Sam Coleman. So somebody said it last night. This is the Christmas card. It's the Ho-Ho Door. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So it doesn't always hold true anymore, but most of the breaks that we had seen, it was 8 duels and 4 inscriptions, and it does not appear that that entirely holds true, because we've had 2 cases where there's been more duels than inscriptions. And there's no guarantee on how many you get. It was just the breakdown seemed to be falling that way. And the fact that we're at 7 duels and 1 inscription, you know, the odds of me being able to get that many duels in a row are pretty long odds. Map. Right, yeah, Americana. Yeah, a lot of people, you would see some where they would have those blanks in there so all the packs look the same. Pairs. I guess it's even worse now with um, retail being so big. I wish my local Walmart would even sell cards. I mean, they have a few, but barely anything. Character parallels. Did you ever used to play? They even still have. He doesn't have. It doesn't work. But the sporting goods store. We have a local sporting goods store in our town. They have one of the old vending machines where you would play the baseball game. And it was kind of like a pinball machine. And then depending on how you did, you would either you'd get a couple of cards, and it would come out. It was like this little cardboard sleeve, and you'd open it up, and there'd be your common 1987 Topps card in it. I have a bunch of the blanks from different sets, but obviously, if you're watching this, you guys all know my packing method is I've got cardboard boxes coming out of my ears that I cut up and use. I find them to be much more rigid. It is disconcerting at best when I see what some of the people ship, how they ship cards. There's our first autograph. Even big sellers and breakers. When I get a card in a top loader in a giant bag and envelope and no other protection, just loose in there. It's amazing. But they say that, the odds of anything happening, they're willing to take that chance over the time and a couple of extra cents it costs to pack a card more properly. I'd rather not have one unhappy customer and take the extra time. It takes me forever to pack up cards. And I don't let anybody help me. Like, the only thing I'll have my daughter, I have her cut the cardboard for me. All I know is I want stuff to go to you the way it comes to me. We got a new duel that we definitely have not seen before. Gold, Ian White. And Ian McElhinney, Natalie Emmanuel. And again, that makes me curious, so I go to the checklist. I must have gone right past it. There's very limited. I guess just again, luck of the draw. Thanks, Dominic. I don't know, I can't remember who the seller is, but there's somebody, I guess it's on eBay. A couple people that use my mail service have gotten cards from, and the card comes taped inside of a DVD case. I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen to it inside a DVD case, but it's funny having it like that. I really wish I could, but except for helping me sort the base cards and, like I said, just cutting the cardboard, it's hard for me. This case is just, this is our best case. Sorry. Like, I know I can't trust my kids to do it the way I want, and my wife has no desire to help. So, yeah, just little old me. Well, not little, just fat old me. But if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. I'm actually hoping slow, I mean, not card-wise, but my regular job, slow that down a little bit. My wife and I are looking at moving somewhere and downsizing and slowing it down. Matter of fact, how's Maryland, Slim? Our whole thing is it just has to be south and it has to be out of New Jersey. Well, our first thing we were looking at is we actually like going down to Rehoboth Beach, and not the beach itself, just to, like, all the shops and the stores and stuff. And there's a lot of little communities right on different waterways. So you figure if you're on the water, there'll be, less snow. It'll still get cold, but, you have that ocean air coming at you. We have some friends of ours that I think they're gonna move to North Carolina. But if we just go to Delaware and not go as far, then we could probably still get to the Union games. Autograph number 2. But my wife is definitely a beach person. So we have to be on or near water. All right, let's start with the low and go to the high. Adele Smith Kennedy. And check this out. Kate Dickey, Aidan Gillen. That, I believe, is a scarce. I know it's at least an EL. Oh, wait a minute, no, Aidan Gillen. Oh, the Rupert is a scarce. This is an EL. Still. You'd be surprised with Rehoboth Beach. You see, we actually don't want anything big. The part that we were looking at, and I wish I could remember the name of the developments that we had seen. They're actually, it's a, like, what do you call them? Mobile homes. Not mobile, it's like a trailer park, but I mean, these things are really nice. And the homes themselves are not expensive, but you have to pay, you have to rent the ground, so then it's almost like an apartment fee, and they were not cheap. So we were trying to find a small house. We still have some time to go though, because we have to wait for my daughter's got 6 more years before she graduates high school. We don't want to we don't want to upheave her when she's, you know, older. If she was younger, but then my son would have been in that age. But he graduates this year, so we're only have to worry about college for him. He doesn't want to leave New Jersey though. New Jersey is, it's as crazy it is. New Jersey is actually one of the biggest soccer states. Up and down the coast. I don't know exactly what where their base of operation is, but the EDP, which is the Eastern Developmental Program. Map. Matter of fact, right in our town that I live in, we have a turf farm, and they actually supply the turf to a lot of the stadiums. They do. I mean, I'm assuming they still do, but the Eagles, the Patriots, the Steelers. I'm trying to remember who else they've supplied to. But anyway, that turf farm, they hold tournaments there almost every weekend, and these people come from, when we go to the tournaments, they're from everywhere along up and down the eastern seaboard. They come to us, and my son's a referee, so he, you know, figures he should stay in this area because of all the work he gets. Is Lamar Jack, is he from Maryland? Or is it just because he's a quarterback? And also, did he played other sports besides football? Autograph number 2. All right, I believe this is an EL also. Gold, Ian Beatty. And inscription. Charlotte Hope. Does that say Reek Stop? Just Charlotte Hope. Yep, Reek Stop. Last box. And then I have to, like I said, go do some yard work and errands and things. Try and listen to a little football while I'm doing whatever. And then we'll be back. I'm not sure what time that'll be right now. Like I said, the goal is we are going to get all 3 of the remaining cases done tonight. Oh, you found it already? Okay, yeah. And if you collect oddball promo stuff, that's where you need to go. Pairs. Almost done. Yeah, I don't think I said it in this video. I have 1, possibly 2 binders for this. If you're interested, shoot me a message on Blowout. And I picked up an extra season 1 binder if anybody's interested in that. I would love to swap it if somebody has an extra season 4, 6, or 7 binder. These are the character parallels. And once I get through all this, I'm going to submit that box mixer we were talking about. I've got my boxes all figured out. Like I said, shoot me a message. I don't know if anybody has or not, so we'll call it first come, first serve. The only reason why I say 1 or 2 is because I wasn't sure how much of this set I was going to collect, and I have yet to open the box that has the binders in them, so I don't know how many sheets fit. I know that if you go for a true master set, you would usually need 2 binders. Alright, so 1 decent, 1 bleh for our last 2 autographs. But this case definitely delivered. This might be my best case. Not saying favorite, because the Portman Flynn would be my favorite duel. All right, so we end with Oliver Ford Davies Valerian. And farewell. Perfect. The end of the break. Or this case, I should say. Farewell. Daniel Portman. All right, let's do our quick recap. So our relic was Tyrion. Gold, Ian Beatty, Ian White, Stas Nair. Our Valerians, Oliver Ford Davies, Adele Smith Kennedy, Lino Facioli, Dan Hildebrand, Susan Brown, and Philip McGinley. Had a blue of Sybil Kikili. Whoops. Full bleed, Alistair Simpson, and Pilu Asbak. That is a scarce. Charlotte Hope, Reek Stop. Anton Lesser, There Will Be Pain. I like that one. And Daniel Portman, Farewell. Now to the duels, where I think we did really well. I'll keep Young and Old Hodor. Trying to find the crappier ones first. Rebecca Benson, Samantha Spiro, Tana Sumter, Paolo Dion Isadi, and Rupert Vansittart. Ian McElhinney, Natalie Emanuel, Mark Stanley, John Bradley, Rory McCann, Eugene Simon, and we end with Kate Dickey, Aidan Gillen, and Faye Marseille, Maisie Williams. So that was a great case. All right, thank you for watching. I'm going to stop. Like I said, I got to take a break. I got to go do some yard work and such. And then I will be back later today for the last 3 cases. And just something fun to show you. Take a look at this. That's the boxes from this case. That's the box from the case I was missing the head. Look at all those boxes there. So, all right, I'll